Hey there, everybody. Groove and Chip here. This is episode 2 of Chip Tips, and in this video, I'm going to demonstrate, in a basic sense, how to debug your Flutter app. These concepts are the same for debugging in native Android development. I assume the same for iOS native application development. I don't have a Mac yet, so I can't verify. But just general debugging, this is the concepts will apply. And I'm using Android Studio on Windows 10. There are some, so it will work a specific way here. If you're using Visual Studio Code, it will be a little different. If you're using IntelliJ, it will be, I assume, the exact same. Android Studio is built off of IntelliJ, if I remember correctly. And I can't really speak for anything else. I'm going to demonstrate this with my Flutter app call manager. This is really just going to be sort of a light demonstration, just to go over what it is, how to do it, and just in a basic sense, like figure out, like help you guys figure out, like if something in your app is not working, if you're trying to get a piece of data and like it's coming out null or something like that, this is what you do. Okay, so what you need to do, what debugging is a means of pausing processing of your app while it's running to be able to examine variables and things that are going on. And you can step through the code line by line to see where processing goes, and it can help you figure out what's going wrong. The first thing that you need is to put a breakpoint in the code where you want to pause processing. And the way to do that here in Android Studio is come over to this area in between the line numbers and the editor. And all you do is you just do a left click right there, and that's a breakpoint. And it will highlight that line in red, and you can see the little red dot, and that means that's a breakpoint. And then what you do is you come up here to these buttons in this toolbar, and you click on the green play button that is in front of a little bug icon, and this will run your app in the debugger. Flutter apps launch already, like by default, in what's called debug mode, so it's a little bit of a difference in terminology. This area that popped up when I hit that button, I will call the debugger. You can see over here we are debugging main.dart, which means this is the app that's going to be run. It will take a little bit to pop up. Now you can see over here I have an emulator showing. I said in my previous video I was mirroring my phone with an ADB trick because the emulators weren't working, but I added more RAM to my computer today and everything is working way better, and I am so happy that I did this, and I wish I did it a while ago. All right, so we're launching. It just occurred to me that I might run into a little bit of a problem because I use Google sign in, and I don't know if I have a Google account signed in on this device. Oh, I must have already. Cool. Oh, what's up with that? Okay. Anyway, okay, very good. Ignore, this is the current call that I have in my app. I keep getting these letters about the loan for my house, whatever it is. Ignore this. What we want to do, I set a breakpoint here on the schedule notification reminder method. I tried to say method and function at the same time. I never know what to say. I will call it method. This method is called when you tap this button here and you want to schedule a reminder for this phone call. So let's come in here with a date. I will, and a time, I'll just say 11:30. It's a little late where I am. When I click this button right here, this function gets called. And because of this breakpoint, processing will pause here. Well, it should have. Sometimes things get funky like that. Let's see. Put a couple more breakpoints in here on all these things and we'll see what happens. Set another notification. Let's put it a couple of minutes into the future. Processing hasn't stopped. All right, I will try and demonstrate with something else. What other functions do I have in here? All right, I'll go to a different screen. How about add new call screen? Yeah, this might actually be a better one. Yes. This probably is a good one because this is a an if statement to evaluate data. So let's say test person. Whoop. Okay. Now. Oh, and if you're curious why the app is running so slowly here, for anybody who might be new to Flutter, I mean that's what this video is for. But the reason why Flutter apps run in a very stuttered kind of way on an emulator or a device or whatever it is because in debug mode, that's just how it works. When you run in release mode, everything will be smooth. So don't get scared, if you see your app is running all crazy. It won't be like that in release. All right. Now we cross our fingers and hope that the breakpoint works. No. What is going on here? Oh, that's the notification sound on the emulator. That's crazy. Made me jump. Well, as you can see, notifications work. Oh, that's nice. Let's try this again. That is craziness. I wonder if that will do something. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Sometimes things just get weird. You gotta try it again. Okay, time to try again. No, may just have to scrap this video. I got one more thing to try. We'll restart the application. Aha! There it is. There it is. Okay. Processing has paused. What happened here is I put a breakpoint on this verify user method, which gets called to check whether or not there's a cached user. And if there is, you'll get logged in, and if not, then you won't. And so that strikes me as a little strange. Regardless, so there are a couple of things that you can do here. This green button here is called resume program, as you can see here, and it will jump you if you have more breakpoints. It will jump you to the next breakpoint, and if you don't, processing will just continue as normal. So that is an important button. This button here, step over, will bring you, if I'm remembering correctly exactly what it is, it will bring you into the code. It will go like more like line by line type of deal. So let's do that. And of course it jumps us down here. And what this line is doing is we are awaiting checking if there's a current user. And you can see right here, currently the user variable is null. That's because this line that we are paused at hasn't been run yet. And you can also see down here in this variable section, here's user. Null, because nothing's happened yet. So, step over. And as you can see, we're moving along in processing. So I'll just jump over to the next bit. You know, it can be kind of tedious to really follow these things through. And here we are back at, you know, this line has been run. As you can see, here we are. Here's the user. It has data. You can drill into all these things, whatever your variable might hold, and you can also, in conditional statements, you can, well, if you hover over like a variable that has, you know, data and stuff in it, you can see what you'll get down here. But what you can do, I don't know that it's strictly necessary that you highlight it, but you can right-click on this, highlight a line or a condition, and then you go down here to evaluate expression. What this will do is it will evaluate the expression and tell you if it's true or not. So we are returning, this resolves to true because there was a cached user, me. And so what I'm doing here is I'm setting a variable in my globals file here, this Firebase user logged in user. A globals file is a conversation for a whole nother time. And I'm setting that variable to this Firebase user. And then let's step over. Yeah, and so you can see processing has now gone down to the set state method so that we can go down to the main screen. We're checking this variable. Jumping through processing, And here's the Firebase auth .dart file, which is from the Firebase auth package. So things are going on, and boom, there's the main screen. Now, as we are running in debug, you don't have to restart if you want to add new breakpoints. So let's get rid of that. I wonder if, let me remove these guys. I wonder if now on the home screen, if I try and set a notification, if my breakpoints will work there. Sometimes breakpoints don't work on certain things. Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, I have to put a breakpoint on the method call. Where's my floating action button? Here we go. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. I want the, here, this on pressed on the schedule notification function. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna schedule a notification for like a minute or two into the future. There it is. Okay. Let's step over. Why did it not bring me into... Some other stuff's going on here. All right. Let's just skip all that. And I would like to turn down the notification sound on this thing. I mean, geez, so I don't jump out of my skin when the notification shows up. All right, this is Pi, right? Can't put it on vibrate in the emulator. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna try not step over. I'm gonna try step into. It's hard to keep these things straight exactly. I'm sure that there is a website that will go into great detail about what that all means. But as you can see, trial and error works nicely too. Oh, and we missed the breakpoint. All right, I'm gonna just leave it at that. This is the basic idea. Don't be disheartened by my failed breakpoints. Just look at the one that worked, and try doing this kind of thing. This topic was prompted by somebody asking me on Discord why their value was always coming back as null, and I suggested to run the debugger, and he didn't know what debugging was. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just a beginner thing, you know. And so I thought I would make this video to help anybody else who was beginning and is unsure of how to figure out problems such as these. So there you have it. That's basic debugging, and hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video. If I can figure out how to stop the recording.